Hi, I'm an landscaper, and this is one of the Big Composer series. We're currently working on a splice run, basically where I don't use anything else, don't use any of my own little skills, things I've learned over the years. No, screw that. Straight to splice, grab a load of samples, bring it in and make some house tracks. So this is a long house track we're making, and this is part 2. I kind of wrote after I finished filming the last one. So I'm just going to run you through it and then we'll head into part 3 as well. Part 2, I brought in some new drums. And just play a little bit of the last one. Deep, hard groove, absolutely loved it. And then what I've done, like the DJ I am not, I brought in another little piece here. Just solo this bit off quickly, just play here. This is the sample I initially found. I did have one I loaded into the last track that I thought would mix in really nicely, and I have used that later on, but I actually found this and I thought it mixed in a little bit nicer. But a real juxtaposition. You've gone from this kind of like grimy, dirty house into this really kind of like soulful sort of sample. So what I did is I bumped down this second part here. You can see the first part runs up here, all the bits, bounced them down, turned off all of the effects and various things I had on it to save on processing power, and then I've started on part 2, and then I've repeated the process. So once I was happy with part 2, I've dropped that down as well. So other bits in part 2, you've got the drums. I found some really nice house piano. Phase-ins, bit of soul vocals. The bass that I took from the original that I thought would be a nice mix comes in pretty quick. And then finally I got this little stutter vocal. And all that combined and mixed down is down here, part 2 mixed. So I'm just going to show you the fade part between part 1 and part 2, and then I might add the part 2 in as a little audio file here, and then we're going to get cracking on part 3. Kind of works together, almost like an extended mid-late almost. There comes a little bit of that bass part that I was going to use as the mix. Only features sort of briefly. We start to filter up the drums. Into a nice steady 4/4. Here comes that house piano. Give it a bit of a lift. Still keeping it nice and mellow, not a lot happening. Piano starts to have a little bit of a filter to give a tiny bit of variation in here. Filter the piano back in, filter the stutter vocal out. In comes the soul vocal. Nice kind of chromio style electro lead. And then we're ready to start thinking about coming into the next track. Quite a nice summery kind of vibe, you know. And I wanted to change the key up a little bit here, so we've moved to A minor now. And in rolls this bass. So we're going to start getting a bit heavier again. Here we go, part 3. I had to do quite a lot of EQing on this bass because you can hear this kind of like low rumble clicks and pops just underneath. Cheeky little riser. Time to stretch that bad boy. Move it out of the way for now. Let's go find some beats. Bring in this hat. I'll stretch it. No color coding. Bit of EQing. Okay, so I brought in a kick and a snare. Did a bit of mixing on the kick. It's got a nice little bit of movement in this kick. Drop out a bit at 300. I'll put a notch in at 120. I'm going to try and drop a little bit out of the bass EQ around the 76 mark, which is where the kick sits roughly. Bring the hat back in, and I'm going to add a little bit of Valhalla Shimmer on it, just to give it a bit of shimmer. And drop the snare back in. Level it off. Bit of EQ. Let's see how that sits. The hi-hat's a little bit too loud. I'm not going to group those drums together. And do a bit of mixing on the whole lot. Put a little notch in at 300. A little bit of Soothe. A little bit of Silver Bullet. A little bit of compression. I might go vintage first actually. Okay, starting to go somewhere. Quick save of that. And what I think I might do, I'm going to loop this off a couple of times. Certainly leave that first one alone. Then I'm going to look for some drum loops, see if I can find anything that complements these already. Found a nice little fill here. I'm going to drop on the end. So I've added that little drum fill to the drum group for this part, which is drum part 3, and the routing system here. Any other thing I'm thinking is maybe a little bit of a sort of garagey kind of percussive twist. Percussive, bit of garagey stuff. Okay, I found one I like called Dark Garage. Dark Garage. That's pretty much any garage when the light's turned off, isn't it? Sorry. I'll bring that in, I'm going to time stretch it, add it to the group, sort the volume out. Colour code it. Now, I feel like having a little bit of a play. I'm going to chop the last 2 off of the main hats, and I'm just going to reverse them quickly and see what that sounds like. And I think what I might do is I'd do that every sort of 4 bars or something like that. I like those garage hats. What I'm going to do is shift those over to the right slightly, just a little bit, just maybe 20, and then I'm going to move the hi-hats over to the left. You guessed it, about 20. In theory, that would just give me a little bit of breadth, width, depth. Nice. I'm going to copy these up now, so just layer these. So that I think is my little 4 rounder here. I might just search for some other sounds before tinkering about with this little loop section. And I'll probably place the riser back in here to indicate we're going to do something, go somewhere, whatever. May bring in crash as well, possibly, before I get too far away from drums. Yeah, let's see what crashes I got. I like that. I've just found one called Serotonin. This effect I might leave outside of the drums group so I can work on it on its own. And I'm going to line out, although I like the fade, I'm going to line the fade up. So a little fade roughly in that point in the bar, so that hopefully it's gone before you're 2 bars in. Let's go find some stuff in A minor. Now, a little bit weird, I wasn't planning, I was planning on going to synths, but I've actually gone for guitar instead. I know, what a rebel. And I found this little funk guitar called the Funk Phenomenon. Funk Phenomenon! It's funk with a PH. Of course it is. The funk. I don't know, I could see this working, you know. Give it a little time stretch. Yeah, I could do something with that. Now I'm going to go look for some synths. I'm just going to put a little cut in here as a reminder, because I think there's something in this little note here. I'm going to actually reverse it as well, because I think there's something in that too. Okay, we'll leave that. Right, what else are we going to hunt for? Okay, I found another one called Obsession. I think that could work. Or at least I think a chunk of it could work. We'll see. Okay, I've got a few elements there. Now I'm going to start looking for some vocal bits, I think. Time stretch, they think the original is 130, so and I've gone 1 through 4. Yeah, this could work. I've got to have that. Well, I'm going to spend a little while with these, but I'll come back to you. I'm going to start with the simple stuff. I'm going to clean up this synth a little bit of EQ. I don't really want any of that low end. I feel like I want to thin out the mid a bit as well. The key's not perfect, it's not a perfect match with the bass, so I need to just sort of thin out the bottom to kind of clean it up a little bit and make it gel. Bring a guitar in. Quick EQ. And then I'm going to pan these two again, left and right, give them a bit of space. I'm going to try and make this synth sit as well now, I think. The synth's probably only going to have like maybe one little round, probably around here, I reckon. I'm going to check a thin micro on this, see what happens. I think I haven't put the thin micro on, I now need to switch the order. So over here on the mixer, now well, you can see this, but whatever you got at the top is what affects it first, and then as you go down, that affects it after. So if you put an effect on, but you can then hear that the EQ has changed kind of significantly, you might want to just switch the order of the thin micro and the EQ. I'm just going to fade the guitar across this little section here, because I feel like what's happening is we're going to come up for this bit, the riser, and that's when I want to bring the vocal in. So I quite like the synth parts I've put in there now, so I'm going to leave them be, I think, for the time being, and let's try and arrange some of these vocals. I feel like a couple of these little ad-libs will probably come in before, and I also want to put all of these vocals into their own group channel track. What I'm going to do is go off the main body vocal that I think I'm going to use the most, get that sounding good, and then kind of work the rest from there. So I use a bit of Nectar 3. Bit of Silver Bullet. EQ. It sounds really hollow at the moment, but I quite like that. A little bit of Soothe too before I go on to compress it. I kind of think like I'm now going to have a quick listen from the beginning and see if it scans, but I feel like I might be able to get away with dropping drums here just for that first little 8. So I'm just going to try that. Cut these out. May leave the snare. No, you know I'm going to reverse the hi-hats and perhaps get a filter on there. I'll worry about that later. No snare. Put a shimmer up here. Okay, now I think there's another vocal fill here. Let's see what happens if I put that one on that track as well. Well, it looks very similar. And now we're going to want that fill to happen again there, and I think a little intro of that. I think I'm going to stick a filter on these though. Let's read right across this section. Let's drop in a little dip there, which I quite liked manually. I think that was okay. But I do think I want to filter this in across this front bit as well. Just a little, you know. I might pop that on the reverb track with the vocals there. This You Left Me, it needs to be louder, that initial impact. Okay, so I think that these two vocal bits here, I'm going to shuffle you up here, they kind of work but need to be a little bit louder. They're, again, a bit quiet. And we'll left and right switch these as well, a little, but I think this may need its own EQ. Okay, on to something, not quite louder yet. So as usual, get lost down a rabbit hole. Come back now, I'll have another listen from the top, see where I'm at. I'm going to rewrite a little bit of reverb onto a couple of snare bits. I'm going to do a little jagged set of cuts on this. Nice and weird. And then we'll lower the volume of that whole lot. I just need to EQ this garage shuffle a little bit. Tiny bit of volume checking on some of these parts as well. I'm going to use that nothing as well as a reverb fill. A little bit more EQing on some of this vocal work, but a little bit of tinkering there just to take some of those vocals out. There's a bit of me really likes kind of messy vocal arenas, almost like you're using them as an instrument, but I'm not 100% sure it works yet. I'm going to drop some other little cuts and echo bits, I think, on just randomly onto the track that's got the reverb on it. Just filling in some of these spots just to see. I'm going to do some cheeky little reverses. Let's just see how it scans. What I want to do with these hey heys is just reduce the volume each time they cut in and just sort of fade away. And I think we're at the point now where I'm going to start to fade this track out and come in with something else. What I'm going to do is drop everything. I'm still not 100%, you know, like the other day, it was just flowing through really nicely. I thought, yep. Arrangement's nice. This one, I'm still a little bit dubious about the vocals because it's quite messy. So what I might do is just spend a little more time in it, but then in principle, I know that's probably my time frame now. I'm going to start to fade out this bass track and bring something else in, another set of drums maybe to kick us in. And I want to go back to the kind of dirty feel again, like the first one. One of the things to be avoided is that when you've been stuck in a loop for ages, you absolutely think it sounds great because you've had that repetition, goes over and over again. So I'll equally probably go make a cup of tea, chill out, maybe listen to something else. 10-15 minutes will probably do it, then come back and have another listen and just see if it all sort of still sits together. In fact, that's actually exactly what I'm going to go do. Fresh cup of tea, fresh ears. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I've unmuted part 2 and I want to see how these two are going to flow into each other. You can hear that little audio pop there, really annoying. That should blag it. No one will ever know. except you lot. I like it in principle. What I'm going to do is switch over these last 2 bits, and I'm very tempted to take that out, actually put that back. I'm really tempted to double the length of this, just see how it sounds as a tail down, and I think maybe a couple of little more vocal stabs. Okay, I think I'm ready to mix it down. So this will do, as I say, as I bump it down, I'll take all the effects off, stick it all onto one track, bring it in. If I need to come back to it, I just switch everything else back on, all good. Anyway, I'm going to put the final track, or close to the final mix as possible, at the end of this video. I hope you join me back for part 4. Thanks for watching.